Hi, it's Sally from Strength Ambassadors here, and today we're going to learn my favourite movement in the world, which is the snatch. So let's get on with it. Okay, first we need to find our snatch grip. This is a wide grip, so the best way to find it is to pick the bar up and move your grip out until the bar just sits in the crease of your hip, so right at the top of your thigh. And the way to test this is if you stand up tall and then push the bar back against your thigh. When your hips move back and flex, the bar should just sit nice and comfortably in the crease of your hip there. It's a bit easier to see from the side. So when you push your hips back, bar sits right in the crease of the hip at the top of the thigh. And that's the correct starting position for your snatch grip. If your grip's too narrow, you'll find that the bar will be down sort of onto your thighs, and when you push back you can see the bar sliding down the thigh, and that's too close together. And the opposite of that is if the grip's too wide, and now the bar's right up by my belly button, so that's not going to be any good either. So for me, having my index finger on the rings is around about the right grip for me, so you can see the bar sitting comfortably at the top of the hip there. So take a few moments to find your snatch grip and just remember what that is. First warm-up move is the overhead squat. So you want to get your snatch grip, pop the bar overhead with straight arms, get into your squat stance, so that will be feet shoulder width apart, maybe slightly wider, toes turned out. And then you're going to squat down as far as you can, keeping the bar locked out overhead. Take it nice and slow and steady. This is a real balance challenge if you've never tried this before. A really good tip is to try and rip the bar apart as you go down. That's going to make you feel a lot more stable. And keep the bar over your hips, so that means it's going to be slightly behind your head. It's over your hips, it's over your centre of mass, and drive up through the heels. We're going to take that exercise a step further. So put the bar on your back like a back squat, but take your snatch grip. And what you're going to do is just jump into that overhead squat position really dynamically. So little dip, jump into the overhead squat. You don't need a massive dip, just bend your knees a little bit and then push yourself under the bar. So this is the subtle difference. You're not trying to push the bar up, you're trying to push yourself down into the floor. So watch how that bar moves. It's when you go up, I go down underneath it. If you can get your head around that, it's going to make your snatching much better. So be really positive, make some noise with your feet, and punch the bar out overhead. Nice straight arms. This first drill is the jump and receive, and we're going to do the top bit of the movement. So take your snatch grip, stand up tall, bar in the crease of the hip, and all you're going to do is bend your knees a little bit and then jump straight up and receive the bar overhead, just like in the overhead squat. So try and receive the bar as low as you can, but it doesn't matter if you can't go all the way down. That's not important. What's important is getting this basic movement right. So you want to jump underneath the bar rather than pushing the bar up overhead. So dip and drive up straight, up underneath. Make sure your arms are locked out all the time. Got to be quite aggressive with this. Helps to make some noise with your feet, really stamp them, punch yourself into position. little dip, jump, punch yourself under the bar, stand up, steady. Keep pushing until you're standing up again. I just want to show you this one from the front as well, so that you get a good view of the lockout position. So that's the arms locked out overhead. So chest up nice and tall, a little bend of the knee, and then I'm punching myself under that bar, keeping the arms straight the whole time. It's really important to keep the arms straight. That's me catching it a little bit higher, so it just goes to show you can still do the movement and catch a little bit higher, so long as you're getting underneath the bar rather than pushing it up. That's the secret. Second drill, we're going to build on that, but we're going to go down to the knee. So starting position's the same, chest up, bend the knees. And this time you're going to push your hips back until the bar reaches the kneecap. And then bring your hips in and your knees under the bar until the bar's at the top of the thighs, crease of the hip. And then jump and receive, just like we did in the last drill. So two key things is that the knees bend, but then they don't bend anymore. It's the hips that go back. So the bar's at the knee, then reverse it, knees and hips in, and jump and receive. Notice how I'm waiting until the bars come all the way up the thigh before I jump and receive. That's important, you don't want to jump too early. So hips back, keeping my chest up, and hips and knees in under the bar, and then jump and receive. Bar comes all the way up, I jump straight up and punch under. I'm going to take that a step further again. Now we're going to go all the way down to mid shin. So we're going to follow the same procedure, stand up tall, bar at the crease of the hip, bend the knees, and now push the hips back until the bar's at the knees. And then once the bar's past the knees, then bend the knees again until the bar's at mid shin. And now reverse it, knees back. Now hips and knees come in under the bar and then jump and receive. So it's really important to hit all these different positions. That's why we go through it really slowly, pausing at each position so that the body remembers where it's supposed to be. And the knees come forward. Now knees go back, and once the bar's past the knees, hips and knees come in, and then jump straight up, pop underneath. Now I'm going to show you the same drill next, but this time I'm going to take those pauses out, so it's going to be a bit smoother and with a bit more flow. It's still slow, still controlled, so you can start to see how this all links together. So knees back, hips in, and then jump up, punch under. You don't need to do this fast. In fact, I advise you not to do it fast when you're learning. Plenty of time to pick up speed later. Let's just get these positions right first. Okay, so this is the full Snatch movement really. Getting into position from the top, and then here, that is the Snatch movement. So now we're ready to add some very light bumper plates to the bar and just go from the floor. So this is the full Snatch from the floor. but we're still going to do this slowly. Okay, this is still a drill to hit the correct positions before we do this at normal speed. And I do advise you to do a slow version first before you go on to a kind of normal speed version. So it's really controlled off the floor. And then only when the bar's past the knee can you really accelerate and really drive up strong. And make sure that you're getting the bar all the way to the crease of the hip before you jump and go under. So a little bit faster this one, but still controlled, still nice and tight off the floor. If you're having trouble getting into that position right off the floor, you can start from the top. So pick the bar up and get into position from here, so keeping a tight back all the way down, and then just touch and go. Touch the floor and drive up. And it's just easy to keep a tighter back if you do it that way than if you just go straight from the floor. Okay, so now we're ready to do a bit of snatch training. I'm going to do a set of 4 here. I recommend you do 3 to 5 reps in your training sets. Take your time in the setup, make sure you're in the right position, and then just be really positive about this. There's no room for being tentative. Try and hit all the positions that we practiced. Make sure that you get the bar all the way into the hip before you jump, and then just punch yourself under. You've got to be quite aggressive with this movement, really quite positive. If you're a bit slow, if you're a bit uncertain, the bar will lose momentum. It will feel really hard. So you've almost got to go on autopilot a bit and just jump and pop under. Easier said than done, I know. Okay, one more rep in this set. So my chest is nice and big, shoulders over the bar, drive up, punch under with nice strong arms. And that's my set. So enjoy learning to snatch, and I will see you soon. Bye.